Nobody can see what you can see, and it's your job to make them. See, the special thing about visions is that they're individual, given to you. Your vision's given to you, my vision's been given to me by God. And others can't see your vision. Others may not be able to see how great your potential is. Others may not be able to see, how gifted you are, how much God has blessed you in this one domain, whether it be, music, your musical ability, whether it be your managerial ability in business, whether it be, your craft and design and fashion. You may know what you're capable of, what you can do. You may have a vision in your head that you just can't ignore that, no matter what you try to do, no matter how much you try to, turn away from it, it just comes back to you every single time. In my case, for example, that's what it was, you know what I mean? I feel like at some point in my life, just brief moments, attempted to be normal, but no, this was written. There's nothing I could have done to avoid this, I'm from Milton Keynes. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I always had visions of being great. I saw things on the TV and I felt like I related to it. And then when I'd be in school and things like that, like doing the mundane things, I didn't relate to it. I didn't really feel like this was for me. I didn't really feel like this is me, Even in school, I just felt like from a very young age, I could see through it. Not see through it in the sense of like, I think I'm better, but I could just see this. I could see what's going on. I could see the system. I could see what we're doing here. And I could see that it wasn't for me. I could see that, no, this isn't for me, And how I feel about myself now, that I've achieved a little bit, that I'm doing all right for myself, is actually internally how I've always felt. Since a little kid, even I lived in Germany as a little kid, I just thought I was special. I thought I was great. I thought I had a great eye for things. I thought I had just a way of doing things that was unique and just special. But the world, society, school, even family are the ones that kept instilling doubt into me. You know what I mean? Whether it be school, just installing fear into the kids. You must do this and you must do that, because if you don't, like the way school made it out, you would have thought that, wow, if you don't have a job by 21, if you don't go to uni and don't have a job by 22, like, governed by the uni, that you're gonna die. Like, school is so based on fear. I mean, the whole world's based on fear, you know what I mean? Fear is the greatest, the most powerful tool ever. So, but when I just think back and I'm just like, wow, like so much stuff, how it was made out, how it was painted out, like when I actually got to it, it wasn't even like that. The monsters in our imagination are way bigger than what they are in reality. And people depend on that. People depend on that to control you. People depend on that to keep you weak and afraid and actually going to go do what it is that you want to do. And instead doing what you've been told to do, But yeah, even family, you're going to have to, dad, mum, and it was all coming from a place of love, They're trying to protect you because they had a harder life than me. And they provided me with a really good life. I'm really, really grateful for what my family did for me. But, again, it just comes from fear. And it's from top downwards, That's the whole thing about a system, that the person that did it to you a lot of times had it done to them. But, just like fear, like just had fear installed into me. Like I could just see it. And I damn near think it was maybe even genetic, because like my nephews also were just very, very fearful from very young, and my brothers just really had to eradicate it out of them. So I do think that maybe genetics can carry like personality traits over a long enough time. School, my environment, people always felt very threatened by me. People always looked at me and thought like, how dare he? Like, how dare he have the audacity to think that he can be great? So-called people that I used to hang around with when I was younger, people that I guess at that point maybe I'd call friends. You know how it is, boys bantering each other, you heckle each other, whatever it may be. But every joke has a little bit of a hint of truth, in there. And I remember they used to always be like, "Raw D," because that's when I first started like exploring fashion and buying designer clothes and styling myself and putting it on the Instagram way before it was a thing. And instead of them supporting me and being like, "Oh wow, like this is some different shit," like, yeah, like they would be like, "He thinks he's Kanye West," or "D thinks he's this, D thinks he's that." And it's like, you might not think it, you might not admit it because you have your whole pride in yourself, but this stuff's affecting your self-esteem. This is affecting your belief in yourself. And it truly did. I remember I used to actually question myself, even though I was doing great things, even while I was doing things that people couldn't imagine. When I first jumped off the porch, I just had this level of self-doubt. I was always questioning, you know what I mean? especially because my reality hadn't caught up with my vision of self yet. But I was just brave enough to hang on, and I guess I put myself in many situations that were like do or die. It's like I almost would say that I kind of messed up uni, that I messed up that whole thing on purpose. Like I just almost like, I have a way of being, like I said, I can step out of myself to observe myself. I have a way of being where if something's not for me or something's gonna distract me from my vision, from my mission, I like sabotage it so that it's not an option anymore. You know what I mean? I flunked around with the uni thing before I dropped out so much that it was like almost like I can't do it. Even if I wanted to, I probably couldn't. I don't even know if I had the right points to go into it. I don't even know. I wasn't going. You know? The one day I was at work too, I was like, nah, not doing this. You know? And I'm just grateful to myself, to my younger self, that I saw it through, you know? That what I saw in myself, I made them see. And I'm continuing to make them see every single day. You know? And it's not about like wanting people's validation or wanting external validation, because I validate myself. That's what I really had to learn to go do, like for real, not the little version, the real version. It's just about being proud of yourself, proud of your work, and you know, like putting your work out into the world. Because what else are we doing it for? We're not doing it to stay small, are we? So I'm grateful to myself that I stuck through and I stuck to my vision. I stuck to my vision exactly how it was. I didn't compromise it. I didn't, when it got hard, stop going for this little streetwear bag of just cheap stuff, whatever like that. No, I never did. If I took a little reroute, it was to get back onto the route that I'm on now. A back road. It was just a back road. But the stuff that I'm doing right now is exactly what the young me wanted to do. When I came into fashion and I got infatuated with like this like glamorous like punk kind of clothing, mainly Saint Laurent, Hedi Slimane de Go, and then, you know, Balmain under Christophe de Carnin. I was like, that's what I want to do. I never was into streetwear. I never had a Supreme phase. I never was like a skater. I never had like a Palace phase or nothing like that. I jumped straight into like Margiela because that's what caught me. That's what grabbed me. You know, when I was seeing Kanye, when I was seeing the ASAP Mob, that was like, oh yeah, I see myself. You know, that's me. Like a little bit weird, but rooted in excellence, rooted in confidence, all of that stuff. You know, I'm just glad I saw it through. So as I said earlier, you know, it's your responsibility to make the world see your vision. And if they don't, it's because you didn't make them. As your philosophy.